it hasn't been a good week for the Hurricanes on the attrition front. Since Miami's season ended with a 34-24 loss to Wisconsin in the Orange Bowl this past Saturday, the Hurricanes have had 4 players leave the program, with linebacker Darian Owens and defensive lineman DJ Johnson and Ryan Fiennes all opting to transfer. Oft-injured linebacker Jamie Gordonier, meanwhile, announced he was ending his football career after undergoing multiple knee surgeries. None were starters this season, but all except for Gordonier saw playing time and were expected to provide depth at their respective positions. The 2 more notable losses were Johnson, a freshman from California who was Miami's highest-rated defensive recruit in 2016, and Owens, who had 35 tackles last season. On Thursday, Miami coach Mark Richt acknowledged that losing players is challenging, but said that more often than not, it also gives young players, including potential recruits, an opportunity to find their way into the rotation. Less than 72 hours after their season ended with a loss to Wisconsin in the Orange Bowl, the Miami Hurricanes are already experiencing roster attrition. Defensive lineman Ryan Fiennes is leaving the Miami program, the school announced on Monday. Linebacker Darian Owens is also transferring. Less than 72 hours after their season ended with a loss to Wisconsin in the Orange Bowl, the Miami Hurricanes are already experiencing roster attrition. Defensive lineman Ryan Fiennes is leaving the Miami program, the school announced on Monday. Linebacker Darian Owens is also transferring. A lot of times when someone departs, it turns into an opportunity for someone else, Richt said. This is not quite the exact same thing, but I remember one year I had a guy named Malcolm Mitchell at Georgia, a very highly rated kid, that was deciding between Georgia and Alabama. He was going to be a DB, but as a senior he played receiver in high school and was thinking maybe he's a receiver. Well, right about this time of year, AJ Green decided to go pro after his 3rd season. And that was kind of the tipping point, I think, for Malcolm to say, you know what? Now that AJ is gone, I mean, he was kind of getting recruited as a DB all along, he said, I kind of like receiver. He goes, is it okay if I play receiver and come? I was like, sure. I think sometimes when people depart, other young men sit there and say, okay, this is more of a reason to go to Miami. I think it will all work out in the end. While the Hurricanes signed the bulk of their recruiting class during last month's early signing period, as they look to finalize that group ahead of National Signing Day on February 7, Miami knows that, because of attrition, it will be able to offer opportunities to talented young defenders they are targeting in recruiting, including American heritage defensive tackle Nesta Silvera, a Hurricanes commit, and his teammate, Andrew Chatfield. Landing both of them would help provide depth to a defensive line unit that could still undergo more changes, especially with Richt noting neither Kendrick Norton nor RJ McIntosh has yet indicated whether they'll be returning to Miami for their senior seasons or declaring for the NFL draft. One player Richt did say would provide help for that group next season was Gerald Willis, who did not play last year but was a terror on the scout team all year long.